Welcome back. Today, we're diving into some huge stories shaking up the tech world. We're going to go from a product recall that actually turned deadly to the epic battle for the phone in your pocket, and then drill all the way down to the silicon brains that are powering the future of AI. So let's get right into it. Take a look at this number, 430,000. Now, that's not just some random figure. It is the number of power banks that have been recalled for a second time. We're talking devices linked to overheating, explosions, and, tragically, even a death. And that brings us to our first story, which is honestly a serious wake-up call about consumer safety. We're looking at the Deadly Powerbank recall. It's a stark reminder that the convenient little gadgets we all rely on can sometimes come with an incredibly high price.
You know, this situation didn't just happen overnight. It was this slow-motion disaster. It started with a tragic death way back in August of 2024. That led to a first recall, sure, but only after dozens of reports of overheating. But the problem didn't go away. By February 2026, one of these things literally exploded on a commercial flight, injuring a passenger. It's just wild. And all of that led to this second, much bigger recall, proving that the first attempt just didn't solve the danger.
And when you look at the raw numbers here, the scale of this problem is just staggering. We're talking over 430,000 of these units out there. There are more than 79 separate incident reports, at least 7 serious burn injuries, and 1 confirmed fatality. These aren't just numbers on a screen. They represent real people who were hurt by a faulty product. So let me be crystal clear. If you have one of these, you need to stop using it immediately. Okay, so let's shift gears a little. We're moving from a dangerous accessory to the actual devices they charge. Right now, there's this fascinating battle brewing between the smartphone giants. And it's really a clash of 2 totally different ideas. Should your next phone be built to last for years and years? Or should it do something completely new and different? On one side, you have Samsung, and they are making a huge bet on longevity. With their new Galaxy A57 and A37 phones, they're promising 6 full OS updates. Think about that for a second. That means a mid-range phone, something in the $400 to $500 range, that you buy today will still be getting new features and security patches in 2032. They're trying to turn a regular phone into a 6-year investment, which is a strategy that used to be only for the most expensive flagship models. But while Samsung is busy playing the long game, Huawei is focused on something completely different. They're trying to fundamentally change the shape of the phone. They are all in on novelty. So what they're doing is pioneering this new category called a wide format foldable with their new Pura X Max. Instead of unfolding into a kind of awkward squares tablet, it opens up into a wider, more cinematic rectangle. The whole idea is to make a device that's genuinely better for watching movies or running 2 apps side by side. It's a pretty bold move to innovate on the physical form while everyone else is focused on software. Now, let's zoom out from the hardware itself to the software platforms that these devices run on. Because right now, a major power struggle is unfolding between Meta and the European Union. And it's all about who gets to control one of the biggest conversation platforms in the world, WhatsApp. Okay, so here's the core of the fight. After trying to just outright ban rival AI chatbots from its business platform, Meta came back with what they called a compromise. They wanted to charge a fee for every single message sent by a competitor's AI. But the EU, well, they weren't buying it, not for a second. They ruled that the fee was so high that it was basically a ban in disguise, a tactic designed to kill competition and push everyone toward Meta's own AI. And this didn't just pop up out of nowhere. It all started with that outright ban back in October 2025. The EU immediately launched an investigation. Meta kind of backpedaled and proposed their pricing model solution, but the EU saw right through it and delivered a really decisive ruling: restore free and open access. Period. This is a huge decision for how major platforms are going to be regulated in the age of AI. You know, all of this, the platform wars, the new phones, the AI features, it all brings us down to the very foundation of this entire tech revolution: the silicon chips themselves. We are talking about the high-stakes, incredibly expensive war to build the brains that will power the next generation of artificial intelligence. And in this war, a really powerful new contender has stepped into the ring. You've got to meet Cerebras Systems, a startup with a totally radical approach to chip design that is directly challenging the longtime champion. And let's be clear, this is a serious contender. Just ahead of its planned IPO, Cerebras has hit a massive valuation of $23 billion. So this is not some small startup in a garage. This is a heavyweight player that's already landing major contracts from companies like OpenAI and Amazon Web Services. But they are going up against the undisputed champion of the AI chip world, NVIDIA. And, well, NVIDIA is not exactly standing still. In fact, they've just unveiled their next massive leap forward. NVIDIA's upcoming Vera Rubin architecture, it isn't just an upgrade, it is a monumental jump in power. Yeah, the memory is increasing from 192 gigs to 288, but the number that should really make your jaw drop is the FP4 power. That's a key metric for AI performance. It's projected to increase by 233%. That's the kind of leap that enables entirely new AI capabilities that just weren't possible before. NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang, he put it perfectly. He called it a generational leap and declared that the tipping point for agentic AI has arrived. So what does that mean in plain English? He's talking about AI that doesn't just respond to you, but can act on its own to accomplish really complex goals. And he believes this is the hardware that's going to make that a widespread reality. So when you take a step back and look at all of these stories together, the deadly recall, the new phones, the platform fights, the AI chip war, a really clear theme starts to emerge. It's this constant precarious balancing act between the promise of innovation and the reality of its consequences. It really is like two sides of the same coin. On one side, you have all this promise. The Casely recall, as late as it was, will save lives. You've got Cerebras bringing much-needed competition to the chip market. We're getting longer-lasting phones and just incredible new AI power. But then, on the other side, there's the peril. That recall only happened after more than 79 incidents. Regulators have to fight tooth and nail just to keep these platforms open. And this frantic race for technological supremacy can so easily make us overlook the risks that are right in front of us. And it all leaves us with one crucial question for the world we're living in. As technology accelerates faster and faster, who is ultimately responsible for hitting the brakes? Thanks for digging into all of this with me.